I've seen a lot of action movies in my time, and there is nothing like this. One Battle After Another, the most recent Paul Thomas Anderson movie in his 10th overall, was incredible.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
It looked incredible. I had a great time at the movies. I saw this in IMAX. I bought my tickets a little late, so I was looking at the theater and it was kind of like that picture of Florence Pugh and Oppenheimer. If you don't know, Paul Thomas Anderson is one of my favorite directors. I think One Battle After Another is easily his most commercial and straight up thriller action movie. I honestly think he's changed action movies forever. This is something I've never seen before. A 3-hour just blitz of a movie. And I really think that timelessness and speed of the movie really owes it to Johnny Greenwood's score, and it just kind of lulls you through that whole movie and you never really notice what's going on. The editing is really sharp as well. I think people will talk about this in 5 or 10 years as just a landmark in filmmaking and just in action movies. And Paul Thomas Anderson's legacy, honestly, this is his biggest commercial thing ever. It stars the biggest name in movies right now: Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, Tanya Taylor, and the newest star, Chase Infinity, which, by the way, that name rocks. Shout out her parents. One Battle After Another tells the story of Bob Ferguson, a revolutionary who is kind of washed up and a stoner now, and it tells the story of him getting his daughter back. There's so many things I liked in this movie. I had to write it down. I think DiCaprio, with this and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, has become the funniest actor in movies. When he puts it on, he just has that, like, the ridiculousness is just so funny. Sean Penn, probably one of the best performances as a villain and as a supporting actor I've seen in a long time. He is just so evil, but also hilarious and just so tight and robotic and weird. Benicio del Toro, I think probably had the greatest 20 to 30 minutes. I think he's only in the movie for that long, around that time, and he just kills every scene. My whole theater was cracking up pretty much anytime he did anything, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen the few small beers thing. So it's just, every line is like that, really. After you watch this, it is one of those where it's like, wow, I kind of want to watch that again, which is crazy for a 3-hour movie almost. But it got me thinking on just how unique Paul Thomas Anderson's stuff is. Even like comparing to Tarantino or Nolan, or just the biggest directors like Denis Villeneuve, all these big directors in our age, but no one makes a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, if that makes sense. Like, I think realistically Christopher Nolan probably could have made Dune, or Denis Villeneuve could have made The Dark Knight, something like that, but it's so Paul Thomas Anderson. It's all him written in it. It's a very poignant movie as well, and it doesn't try to make sense of what is going on in the world, but it surprisingly ends hopefully, which is it's shocking for Paul Thomas Anderson given his whole career of work for the most part, but it was kind of nice to see that out of a modern day movie. And I thought that was really interesting because it's also his first movie that takes place during the modern day. Like, if you look back at his filmography, literally never has he, besides Punch Drunk Love, has he actually made movies that talk about what's going on today. And so I thought it was really interesting that he chose now to do this. This is gonna be talked about for a long time. There's so many scenes that he just does well because he's Paul Thomas Anderson. He's just a kind of a master at his craft at this point. And there's just certain scenes where a normal director, you know, you watch like a Fast and Furious movie, not to shit on any of those if you like those, because I kind of like those too, but these action chase scenes in a certain way. There are scenes that are shot in this movie like that, like there's a car chase sequence exactly that I've never seen shot the way Paul Thomas Anderson shot this. It's almost, it's like psychedelic. It's almost made me dizzy watching it in theaters, but looking back, it's such a special scene and just a really interesting way to shoot that kind of sequence compared to, like, you know, drone shot of like fast moving Mustang, whatever, right? I'm not even gonna get to shit on those, but just to give you an example. But yeah, for his first really, really big commercial success. I don't think he could have chosen a better way to do it. And I hope you guys really, really go out and see this. Form your own opinion on it. I hope you really like it. I would be shocked if you didn't. But yeah, enjoy.